Hello, this is The Real TomTom. Welcome to race 10 of the Formula 1 Multiplayer Championship I'm playing, F1 2016, and it is in Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. So I speed up the qualifying. I choose, I think, the harder tyre options. I load a setup from earlier on. I think I've taken one of the other drivers' setups, but I chose to have, for my setup, the harder options. So although I qualify here on the soft, the soft tyres, for the race I've chosen not to have any softs, but to go with hard and medium compound tyres. So although these ones are the quickest on this track, they will degrade relatively quickly. So there you can see I'm down in 15th place with a 1:42. It's not my best time, but obviously it is race conditions with a heavier fuel load. And here we go. I start pretty cautiously. I decide to try and keep out the way. And again, starting at the back, I know I'm never going to make any major headroom into these, and I don't want to be part of an accident like I was a while back. So you'll notice coming up to the through these first few corners, cautiously just getting round. You can see a few people starting to spin off, a few bumps. I go really wide here just to avoid any incident whatsoever, and come back on in 14th place. So from there you can see it's now a fairly big gap in front of me. I've got someone fairly close behind me, and actually this is kind of one of those first times that I've really been able to drive and keep someone behind me. It was a fairly close sort of battle. We'll see I can't remember exactly what happens. It was only last night, but hey, we'll leave that out of the equation. But you can see that I'm not being dropped immediately from 12th place in 13th, and 14th I'm holding behind me. They are quicker drivers, but actually with the full line on this time, with the full racing line on, I'm able to, for race pace and for the rest of it, keep myself in the mix a little bit, not be too far out of the way. So on these just the soft tyres, not super soft, the soft tyres, I know they're going to go off a lot quicker than maybe I would hope, especially being quite a heavy driver and a heavy sort of user on tyres. But so they go up into 12th again. I don't know why it's again, but yes, here we go, in 12th, overtaken someone. 11th, just up the road ahead of me, 2.5 seconds. So I'm not sure I'm exactly going to catch them, but as you see, with one little mistake on this sort of track, if you're not careful with an incident, you do then get the chance to kind of take a couple of places out of someone. And because there's such a large runoff, you don't necessarily get sort of taken straight out of the race, but actually with such large runoff, it's a long way to get back on. You've got dirty tyres, you might have a little bit of damage, and that can impede your performance. So for people like me, it's just trying to stay, again, fairly calm, consistent. You can see the two little arrows by the hands of the driver at the moment, where AJ is behind me now. You'll have maybe noticed from previous races, he's usually well up ahead of me. So I think because of an accident, maybe some damage, he is behind me. He comes through fairly aggressively, but arguably fairly. Doesn't send me off. I don't know what happened there with Keith. That one confused me. He's my teammate. He was obviously going much faster, and because of that, and because he just essentially went for it, I ghosted and he went straight through me rather than taking me out, which I'm fairly grateful for, to be honest. Otherwise my race would have been over much quicker than it was. Silverstone's a very long lap, so there's only 26 laps this time, but they are sort of almost 2-minute laps. And even on getting ready to start lap 3, I'm 20% on my front left. I don't know why my front left is so heavily worn compared to everything else. I obviously, the way the track goes and the way I push it, I was very heavy on my front left on every set of tyres and every stint. But I'm still in 13th. I've done pretty well to sort of keep that. You can see Scotty now behind me, and keeping him again roughly at bay. I'm trying to catch up to these two. With these two, again, much faster drivers fighting, alright, they're going to be quicker, but it keeps me sort of in check if they have an accident, if something else happens, and gives me the opportunity to to make something happen with my race. So I've always liked driving Silverstone. I quite like it as a track. There were some guys talking in the lobby before we started who hate Silverstone, but I've always liked Silverstone. It's not necessarily I'm particularly good at it, but I've enjoyed driving it, and it's got lots of different bits, some really fast corners, some really technical corners, and again, I'm not particularly good, as you'll notice at this, but having the racing line on this time for F1 2016, I'm finding I'm getting a bit quicker. I've got another video that I'll try and upload today as well about using the racing line within the game. So not to do with the multiplayer championship, but using the racing line and how your times can vary if you're someone like me that uses a lot of the assists and how well that performs. So you can see there I was 1.3 seconds quicker this lap than I was last. So finding a bit of a rhythm. The tyres not completely falling away. I don't know whether you can see, maybe in the comments you could let me know, where I'm coming around some of these corners and it always seems to pull me out and other people can stay on the racing line. Do I need to lift? Do I need to brake more? What is it that I need to do to stay kind of within pace? So we're going on a few more laps to lap 5, and it was coming through the S's very quickly, and you'll notice what happened was I got pulled out onto the grass, couldn't control it across, but because it's a very large runoff, all I actually do is take out my own front wing. So that's not too bad, but it does mean I dropped a few places. I'm still on the soft by lap 5. Some guys are now on the medium. Other people now overtaking me because of my mistake. And like I said before, if you make mistakes and there's a lot of runoff, to get back into a rhythm of driving gives everyone the chance to catch you, overtake and pass, which is obviously what just happened there. I think, yes, so I'm now on the mediums. So I've gone from, I must have done a pit stop within that window there. So I've gone from the softs to the mediums. Still on the mediums, but I've done a good few more laps now. 40%, lap 9. And there's the race engineer. Would you like to confirm your strategy change? And this is where it all goes wrong for me. I always look at this and confirm their strategy change. I don't know whether that's for the best. Again, maybe if you've done some of these as well, let me know what you think. But I think that's what eventually starts to scupper my race up, because I now choose to go back onto the hard tyre compound. So what happens is they've told me I'm going to go soft and medium again, and I decide no, what I want to do is go to the hard and just try and see out the race with that. So what happens is coming up to the end of lap 11, still got the front wing damage, and I don't think you'll see it in this, but again I'll link at the end to the full race. I do decide not to get my front wing changed. I actually found, strangely enough, the setup better with the front wing damage. But what I do is come at it a little bit fast, and I get a drive-through penalty. It was a little bit closer than I thought it was, and my own stupid fault, that happens. So, end of the next lap, on the hard tyres, I come in to do my drive-through, but actually, all that really happens is I have another pit stop, because I had the strategy change of 2 pit stops left. So it's taken it not as the drive-through, but as another pit stop. If anyone knows how, when you're driving, to easily say take the drive-through, not take the pit stop, if it's, again, it may be in the context menu, please let me know in the comments, because that is frustrating as heck. That I've just done 2 laps essentially, 1 lap on a set of hard tyres that should last me to the end, and I've gone back now onto the mediums, and it's like, this is annoying, because I still now have to serve the drive-through. It's a slow pit lane, it's a long pit lane, and it's frustrating. So, on the hard tyres, the medium tyres now, only 4% wear, got to have to take the drive-through penalty. I think maybe I can make it to the end on this. So, I don't want to be disqualified. Come into it. I don't want to take it too hot. Slow down. Someone rear ends me. We get reset to track. I didn't want to do a U-turn and try and get down the pits and face other penalties. But what now happens because of that is I cross the line. I've been disqualified from the session. Now, again, the full stream of this, which I include in the comment bit at the end of this, not comment, it's got the screen at the end, has on there, you should sort of now see it coming up on screen. I do have my teammates drive after that. I use the race director, and I watch the race, and actually it's quite good fun to watch the race as a fan of it. So you'll see then that comes up at the end of the multiplayer. I didn't bother commenting over it, but there are some incidents in there which are worth looking, and because of my incident there, and what happens is a safety car comes out and the race continues. But Keith, my teammate's able to make a pit stop and get up to third because of my crash. So actually, it's almost like an unexpected byproduct. Doesn't necessarily stay in third, but again, watch the video at the end to find out whether he keeps his third place for us as the McLaren team. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this particular video. Please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment what you think I could do better, what else you'd like to see from the channel. I do appreciate it, so thanks very much, and enjoy the next race that we have.